All right. Watching the world burn, watching the world burn. April 14th, 2023. Let's get into the first video before I get into the news. What is shocking to me is that I heard nothing on the radio today. Not one news report about what's going on in France. I gotta go to Russia to find out. Check this out, people. My God, France is on fire. Literally. Holy shit. Of course, like I've said, the police should be on the side of the people because they're going to lose their pensions too. But I don't think they understand that. They think that the government's paying their salaries and they got to fight the people. They just need to team up, get Macron out, and form a new government by and for the people. But this is what's going on. All right, all kinds of wild stories coming out of Ukraine. The pincers I heard were closed. Then I heard that they're not allowing reinforcements into Bakhmut. Then I heard that Ukraine Special Forces have moved into Bakhmut. And then I heard that we know that 80% of Bakhmut is in Russian hands. And then I heard it's now 90%. So it's all over the place. I'm going to tell you, we just don't know. But Bakhmut has fallen. And I told that to a comment to a person that watches my videos. It's just a matter of time, and that's why I said Bakhmut has fallen, because Russia's got the pinchers going, and I don't know if they could close them when they want to. All kinds of things. If you want to listen to Colonel McGregor, he says that maybe Russia's just letting the forces in there so they can destroy them. But anyway, they've definitely got the upper hand. Let's get to France again. My God, look at this. This is another. That was in Nantes. I've never been to France, so I couldn't tell you. But Nantes, France, if you've been there, maybe you can tell me where these places are. And this is Lyon, France. Look at this. Where is this on the mainstream media? Where is this on Fox News or CNN or MSDNC or NBC? Of course, the government-owned NPR. I mean, what the hell? It looks to me like France is burning down, and nobody's reporting on it, except me. And I only have 266 people that watch these videos. So you count yourself in the minority. You are the few people in the United States out of our 350 million, well, more than that now that we've got 2 million illegal aliens living in the United States. 352 million people living here. So, anyway, this just blows my mind that this is not being reported on by anybody. I even watched YouTube channels. Hell, even the Duran. I mean, I depend on them. Of course, they're more focused on the Ukraine war, and there's only so much they can cover. But I'm not seeing anything about this anywhere. Holy moly! Now you know what? I tell you, what was interesting. I don't know if you saw it, but some of the protesters had gas masks on. I mean, they're pretty damn prepared for what was happening. Holy moly. All right, so let's get more into the news. By the way, do you consider the person that leaked everything about what was really going on in Ukraine and showed the Biden administration and Lord Austin should be in jail for lying to Congress? I think he's a hero, in my opinion. I'm glad that he exposed it. And I want to tell you, let's just use an example of how the media lies, and how they are leftist rags that all they do is report on the slant that they want. Remember when Vinkman came out to Shifty Shift and gave him the information, and then Shifty Shift lied about the Russia hoax, and Vinkman was painted as a hero for being a whistleblower, and he was the greatest thing since Swiss cheese. Hell, he's probably sipping pina coladas down in Morocco or something. I mean, who knows? And then this poor kid who finally, actually revealed this something that the American people really needed to know, because, $150 billion that we've given to Ukraine. By the way, it was found out that I don't know if it's 100 million per Ukrainian official, or it's 100 million divided up amongst the Ukrainian officials, but they've stolen a hell of a lot of that money in that corrupt government. So that's your tax money, but yet, this guy's painted as he's son of Sam, man. he's the worst thing that ever happened to the United States, according to the media, just because he exposed the truth. Holy shit, to me, I mean, Vinkman should have been going to jail, and this kid should be held up on people's shoulders. From what I understand, he might have compromised some intelligence sources, and that would be bad. But at the same time, I think he did the United States a great justice in informing the American people on what's going on. Unfortunately, the spin that the media has put on it, nobody's going to ever know the truth. Let's keep going. This was weird. I don't know. Farmers attempt to block a railway. Maybe it's in Ukraine. This is a wealthy German woman who was going on. Oh, she's from Ukraine, talking about how her boyfriend is not taking care of her properly. This is more Ukraine harassing Orthodox practitioners in Ukraine because they definitely don't like the Orthodox Church. This was, I tell you what, I'm not going to play this, but this was, I watched this whole video. Do you believe in clairvoyance? Well, let's just watch 2 seconds of it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because this guy's, I mean, I tell you...
З ваших слів, то перспектива у нас така нерайдужна.
Ні.
У цієї цивілізації.
Чим раз ми йдемо вниз. Наш генофонд вигибатиме повністю.
Це тільки Україна?
І Україна. Україна ще буде так і по-старому. Третина України Закарпатської буде мадярам і чехам.
He's predicting the future, like Nostradamus. South and Central Coast would be with Russia. I can agree with that. We're Romanian. The Romanians are wanting to come across and take their swath of territory. Of course, it won't even be on a map. And it will begin to rebuild.
Один народ свій став ворогом між собою. І третя сторона це робить.
All right, then he goes on to predict nuclear war, and he says that 2/3 of the planet's going to die, and 1/3 will survive. So at least somebody's going to survive. This was really weird. Holy shit. This is another transgender video that they're playing in Russia. I don't know. I can't even watch it. This was just kind of, I tell you, talk about doublespeak. I mean, this is the Ukrainian deputy foreign minister. Oh my God. I watched it and I was like, well, what the hell did she just say? She said nothing. She went on and babbled for all the whole video. So let's just play 25 seconds. This is what's going on in the Orthodox Church in Ukraine. You're all for this? If you're a Christian, are you for them doing this? I mean, this guy looks like a real threat, huh? He's a bearded dude. Well, I mean, who knows? I mean, he could be one of them, like in the videos. Maybe he knows karate or something. But he looks real threatening to put an ankle bracelet on him. So that's what they're doing in Ukraine to their Orthodox priests. Hey, on a separate note, this is pretty cool. Carrie Lake, her case continues in Arizona. and the Supreme Court kicked the case back down to the I guess they call it the appellate court, and they're saying that they need to look at signature verification. Now, if she gets signature verification, you've got 35,000 votes that are in question. That could put her over the top. And, who knows where the whole damn thing's going to go. But I'm glad that she's not backing down. I do want her to be the vice president under Trump. But who knows? I mean, I tell you what, she's got vinegar and spit. I really like her. By the way, I guess this is Elon Musk's mom. I'm not going to play it. It's 37 seconds. She just receives a trophy. But, boy, talk about a woman that raised and that got some news on Elon Musk. That's going to be coming up. This is weird. So this is a church that got blown up by the Ukrainians, and we'll just watch 2 seconds. So the Ukrainians completely destroyed this church. I think it's located in the Donetsk, and so it was destroyed by artillery fire. But it's kind of funny how, this little piece of the church remains, and I guess these were practitioners to the church, and they came to just worship to that little bit of the church that's left. Isn't it weird? I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Check the moon off in the distance on the right over there, huh? Well, that's really neat. All right, so yeah, that was an interesting video. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into these. Let's get back to the news for 1 second. Yeah, and of course in those Pentagon documents that got revealed, they said it was a 7-to-1 death ratio. That 7 Ukrainians are dying to every Russian that dies. Figures I hear are much more than that, probably about 10-to-1, maybe even 15-to-1. So, no way that can be sustained. Ukraine is definitely losing the war, and I've been pointing that out to people for a year, and everybody just tells me I'm delusional. I'm a right-wing lunatic. Yeah. And of course, we know from the documents that their air defense is running out of S-300 missiles because all they had was the old Soviet stuff, and they couldn't manufacture their own. And they've already they've already, all the NATO countries have given all the, isn't it amazing how much Soviet equipment poured into Ukraine? And it's funny how the Russians, all they've done is eliminate all the old Soviet equipment. It's kind of like the United States. When the United States implodes, which it's going to, all the U.S. equipment that's all around the world, we're going to have to go and probably destroy it all, just like the Russians are destroying all of the old Soviet equipment. So it's kind of weird how that works. But check this out. Is this like a sad? I mean, can you imagine? I mean, all right, you get old. A lot of people just want to be with their grandkids. If you're a farmer, the kids take over the farm and you get to live and you cook for the kids. And then, of course, when you get too really old, hopefully they take care of you a little bit as you, are bedridden or have medical problems and everything. Look at these fucking old people that are leading the world. Oh my God, this is the most pitiful thing I've ever seen. Watch this. These are the people in charge of the world. Look at them. I mean, they need to retire, man. I mean, this is so ridiculous.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh God, these are the people in charge. Check out this 32 seconds with Biden.
We take great faith. In the closing comment I make, you see this tie I have with the shamrock on it? This was given to me by one of these guys, right here. Was a hell of a rugby player.
This is him on his vacation in Ireland on taxpayer expense. With his whole family, I might add.
It's a Soldier Field, wasn't it? Gang? Chicago.
I wish I could go on a trip to Ireland
all over,
and have you pay for it.
Gave my brother.
Well, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want you to pay for it, but still.
I still took it. I still got the tie. I wear it with great pride.
Unless I was doing something important, besides just talking about a tie. My God. Oh, let's keep on going. Yeah, we already talked about that. Yeah, well, of course, the Biden administration, they're still pushing this offensive in Ukraine. But if they're taking the elite troops and pouring them into Bakhmut, I mean, are they taking them away from the offensive? That's what I would wonder. And if they are, well, I mean, everybody's predicting the offensive is going to just butt up against the Russian defensive lines and just get destroyed. That's the prediction anyway by most people. So we'll see what happens there. Let's keep going. Yeah, this is an interesting video. So now I hope the music doesn't get me banned. They seem pretty upbeat to be in Bakhmut. God knows, doesn't it look like a hellscape? Holy moly. Now you're kind of seeing the serious nature of it. They were putting on a good face before, but man, I'll tell you, it's stressful. I mean, I can't imagine being under this kind of. Look at this. I mean, oh my God. All right, that's enough of that. So yeah, finally, after a couple of weeks here, Bud finally put out a really crappy statement about how they still want to be America's beer, and it come to find out, guess who's in charge? I mean, not in charge, but is it either executive vice president or maybe even the dude in charge. He was a CIA operative. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, that can't be. So we got some woke CIA operative that's in charge of Bud Light. Holy moly. So no wonder. I mean, I tell you what, if you drink Bud Light, I won't be drinking it anymore. I can tell you that. And I was a huge Anheuser-Busch fan, and that's all I got in the house. Now, I'm not going to, because I'm on a limited budget, I'm not going to dump it all out. I'll still have my couple beers in the evening, but I got to figure out what the hell I'm going to turn to. I guess I like Miller Lite and Coors a little bit. I can't show you this one because this will kick the damn video up to age 18. But this is a vast cemetery in Ukraine. I mean, it just goes on for miles of graves with fresh flags flying over them. At least they're honoring their dead. This is the Prime Minister of Britain, and his wife is in Russia making money. So, and he says, well, we put sanctions on Russia. I don't know. Is there a conflict of interest there? You tell me. This is a bunch of old people from Russia that are training to go fight in Ukraine. And they had a unique name for them. I can't remember what it was. I won't show you the video. Well, let's watch a couple seconds of it. It's kind of cute.
Ребята у нас это в основном казаки и добровольцы, которые приходят по разным причинам. То есть не призываются вооруженные силы, есть возрастные. И основная цель подготовки – это выполнить задачу и вернуться домой. Как говорил в свое время один из великих военачальников, пот экономит кровь. Поэтому у нас, в принципе, девиз здесь: каждый метр – это учебная точка, каждая минута в работе.
I'm trying to get to the nickname that they gave themselves because I thought it was cute. I wish that I hadn't broke my neck because I would be volunteering for something like this if I lived in.
Здесь собраны инструктора очень высокого уровня, которые не за деньги, а за
because I certainly couldn't drop out of a truck like that no more, not with a broken neck. Oh, come on, get to the nickname. I don't want to watch too much of this.
Это война двух менталитетов. Западного менталитета НАТО, в частности. Как бы не вуалировалось, но так и есть. Потому что Украина на сегодняшний день это полигон. Украинцы это такие же славяне, как и мы. Это наш братский народ.
So this is interesting. Yeah, I'm glad you're going to get to see this. So they treat the Ukrainians for the fascists and the foreign mercenaries. If you're
называем ласково импортные. А знаете, как они нас, отряд наш, прозвали?
This is it.
Котята.
Kittens.
А котята заходят на мягких лапах.
Kittens or soft paws. I just thought that was cute. But, that's another point that he brings out there is that, now we know that U.S. troops are on the ground in Ukraine. special forces, they're treating them differently. So if you get captured and you're U.S. Military in Ukraine, I don't think you're going to get treated very well. But if you're Ukrainian, I think they're going to try to. It sounds like they're treating them well. All the videos I've seen, it looks like they're treating them pretty well. Let's see. We got to watch these two. Let's get on to the news. Just a couple more seconds here. Yeah, a trans man, he wins a golf tournament down in Australia. So women, I tell you what, man, if you compete in Western nations, you're getting beaten out by all these trans men. I don't know. I mean, I guess women are okay with that because they're all for the trans woke agenda, especially if they're Democrats. You know, I would think that women would want to compete against women. Now, I understand. Now, this guy, he had gone through the whole treatment. He went through a whole year of the hormones and everything else. So I imagine it was pretty brutal for him to be able to compete in this golf tournament. But as somebody pointed out, you know, he was fairly old. You know, he'd had like 40 years of testosterone to butt up against all of the hormone treatments. And so, you know, they were wondering how much it offset his actual genetics. So who knows? Luca, Brazilian president, he visited China and he signed a solidarity agreement with them and said that they are definitely on the BRICS movement to get away from the dollar. So he's going to be trading with China in strictly yuan. And I imagine he's de-dollarizing. So this is more of the de-dollarizing multipolar system that the whole world is entering into as they get away from the Western hegemony. So let's get back to more old people that look completely stupid that are running the world. Oh my God, holy moly. Let's watch this for 2 seconds.
Thank you all very much.
Look at this guy on the left. He looks like the Munsters or something, right?
All you American reporters.
I don't know.
Looks just like the White House, right?
Does he really have teeth? Do you think those are dentures in there? And then this is another. These are our global leaders. No wonder Russia and China are kicking our ass. Look at this. Oh, they can't even figure out where they're going to stand. I mean, how many old, decrepit people do you know? I mean, would you want them in charge of the world? No, I mean, at least here in the villages, you know, in Florida, I mean, all the old people, they're just reliving their childhood. They're not trying to, you know, blow up the world. I mean, holy shit. When I watch that, it blows my mind. So we're coming down to the last video. Let me get through the rest of the news. All right. Russians supposed to send Ukraine. Oh yeah, the EU can't get the Russians money. So they were trying to get, what was it, like 350 billion? They confiscated and they were going to send it to Ukraine. And I think they did find 38 billion or so. But now they're facing, well, and think about it. It's illegal. It's against international law for them to seize somebody's money out of these Western banks. But luckily, Russia was able to, well, I say luckily, I mean, I don't think anybody should be able to do this, no matter what. But the money disappeared. Let's just put it that way. And I don't know how Russia got it out of these places and made it disappear, but they can't find it. So, show me the money! Show me the money! I imagine that's what the EU leaders are shouting right now because they can't find it. So it's a pretty funny situation in my opinion. And so the 11 sanction packages closing down businesses and so on against Russia has completely failed and has backfired on the U.S. and the EU. And we'll see. I mean, I think the whole damn system is going to come crashing down, but that's just my opinion. And so the, let's see, compared to COVID Democrat states. Well, yeah. So, I mean, when you think about what the COVID Democrat states did, with all of the shutting down of businesses and everything, so the EU, with shutting down businesses and so on with these sanctions, all they're doing is slitting their own throat, just like the Democrat states did during COVID. That's why the Democrat states are in economic turmoil, and we here in Florida are doing great. So, because we didn't completely shut down. And I already talked about how Twitter is no more. The Twitter employees want to move out of San Francisco. They've all expressed that opinion, and they're begging Elon Musk to get them the hell out of a dystopian Democrat state. I can't blame them. Holy moly, if I worked there, I'd be like, Elon, move us to Texas or Nevada, because he's got 2 super plants in those 2 states. So, I guess this is kind of an ugly thing. The only option left to the West, to me, is to destroy Russia or China. And you make of that what you will. Hopefully not with nuclear weapons, but it just seems to me that they're going to need a major event to hold on to their reins of power. And let's hope it doesn't come to that. And the other thing is the Ugladar. Because that's I didn't want to talk about Bakhmut. Everybody wants to talk about Bakhmut, but Russia's fighting very hard for Ugladar. And so today there was a Ukrainian stronghold there that Russians just bombarded the shit out of it with missiles and artillery and just wiped it out. They wiped it out. So Ugladar is... that's another precarious situation for the Ukrainians. So not only is Bakhmut getting taken over, but you've got Ugladar, which is another major battle that's been going on for quite some time. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But let's go ahead and watch the Russian Special Military Operation Report. And as I say to everybody, show me the Ukrainian report. Show me the U.S. report. I'll play those, but I can't find them anywhere. They don't talk about real numbers. And are these real numbers? I don't know. I just play them as I see them.
The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue the special military operation. In the Kupiansk direction, aviation, artillery and heavy flamethrower systems of the Zapad group of forces have engaged the units of the armed forces of Ukraine close to Dvurechная, Sinkovka and Timkovka in Kharkov region and Novoselovskaya in Lugansk People's Republic. The enemy's losses in this direction during the day amounted to over 35 Ukrainian troops, 2 motor vehicles, and 1 Gvozdika self-propelled artillery howitzer. In the Krasny Liman direction,
right, so that's 35,
tactical and dummy aviation and artillery of the center group of forces have inflicted a fire damage on enemy units close to Chervonaya Dibrova in Lugansk People's Republic, Terny and Grigorovka in Donetsk People's Republic. Total enemy losses in this direction amounted to up to 80 Ukrainian servicemen, 2
so 35 plus 80
and 1 D-20 howitzer. Moreover, an ammunition depot of the 66th Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine
so
was obliterated close to Nevskoye in Lugansk People's Republic. In the Donetsk direction, the Wagner assault groups continue intensive fighting to push the enemy out of the central quarters of Artyomovsk. Airborne troops support the assault units on the flanks by preventing the enemy from transferring reinforcement units to the city and giving no chance to the enemy to retreat from Artyomovsk. Operational tactical evacuation.
All right, let me summarize that because you probably didn't catch on. That's Bakhmut. And so what they're saying is that the men in Bakhmut are not being allowed to retreat, and they've cut off reinforcements. So in that case, the fight in Bakhmut, if this is accurate, is left up to whatever ammunition the troops in there have left. So they either got to fight until they're out of bullets and out of ammunition and out of food and out of water, or to the death, or surrender. According to this, okay.
Missile troops and artillery of the new group of forces engaged concentrations of the manpower and military equipment of the armed forces of Ukraine close to Kalinovka, Nikolaevka and Stupachki in Donetsk People's Republic. Over the past 24 hours, Russian aircraft made 12 sorties close to Artyomovsk, and the missile troops and artillery carried out 57 fire missions to support the group's actions.
So what they're saying there is that the Russian Air Force is bombing the shit out of Bakhmut with little or no air defense left on the Ukrainian side. make of that what you will. And that's according to this.
The enemy's losses amounted to over 300 Ukrainian troops, 1 infantry fighting vehicle, 6 armored fighting vehicles, 2 motor vehicles.
So now we're up to 435
as well
Ukrainians.
as 1 Gvozdyka self-propelled artillery gun over the past day in this direction. In the South Donetsk and Zaporozhye directions, operational tactical and army aviation and artillery of the Vostok group of forces inflicted a fire damage on the Ukrainian units close to Ugledar in Donetsk People's Republic, Poltavka, Verkhnya Tersa and Domelnik in Zaporozhye region. Over the past 24 hours, up to 20 Ukrainian troops, 2 armored fighting vehicles, and 1 Stab-B howitzer have been neutralized in these directions. Moreover, an ammunition depot of the 102nd Territorial Defense.
And so, that's the thing that about these reports, why they seem kind of honest to me, is like, okay, there were big numbers, now there's just little teeny numbers. So it's kind of like, the reporting, I mean, I don't know. You tell me. It just seems accurate to me. I don't know.
Brigade was eliminated close to Gulay Pole. In the Kherson direction, up to 35 Ukrainian troops, 2 armored fighting vehicles, and 1 Gvozdyka
very detailed
artillery gun have been eliminated during the day. Operational tactical aviation, missile troops and artillery of the armed forces of the Russian Federation have engaged 97 Ukrainian artillery units at their firing positions, enemy's manpower and military equipment in 124 areas during the day. Their defense forces have shot down 9 HIMARS-MLRS projectiles during the day. In addition, 6 Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles were destroyed in the areas of Chervonaya Dibrova, Kremenaya, Pshenichnoye, Rubezhnoye in Lugansk People's Republic, Kirillovka and Volnovaha in Donetsk People's Republic. In total, 407 airplanes, 228 helicopters, 3,747 unmanned aerial vehicles, 415 anti-aircraft missile systems, 8,659 tanks and other armed fighting vehicles.
All right, that's enough. All right, peace out. Stay free. It's good to live in the free Republican state of Florida under the great leadership of Governor DeSanctimonious. And no, I do not like the title Puddin' Fingers, as they were putting on the radio today. I don't care. I kind of respect the fact that DeSanctimonious was eating pudding with his fingers. I'm pretty barbaric too. I might just dip my whole face into the pudding cup and just suck it right out. That's my opinion on that whole story. I like DeSanctimonious. Great leadership of Governor DeSanctimonious.